appointment of Coach Otuado is not as a result of competence, but it's as a result of policy. Because Otuado has no iota of competence to be the head coach of the Black Stars.
You think so?
I am saying on authority.
Hi, it's another time to bring to you Soccer Punch on the Our Media channel. My name is Josiah, where we look at the most interesting and also debatable topics happening across the world of sports. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and then also you can have your say in the comment section. But today I have two gentlemen in the studios, quite some regular suspects, if I should put it, and they'll be helping me address the issues happening, because currently Ghanaians are peeved and disappointed because the 2025 AFCON qualifiers hasn't really been a good story for Ghanaians to tell. Why? Because after 4 games in the qualifiers, they've managed to pick up only 2 points from an available 12. And now the questions that are being asked is it that Otuado is practically bankrupt? Are the players not committed enough? Or is just the GFA running things smoothly, to help the Black Stars get to the level they used to be? Because there's a team that qualified for the first time in 2006 to the Mondial, and the last time they failed to qualify for an AFCON was in 2004. So some 20 years back, it looks like the chances of the Black Stars qualifying to another AFCON looks highly unrealistic and improbable. Not just that, but England have announced that they have appointed a new manager who is not even English. And guess who the latest Three Lions manager is? It is none other than former Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Chelsea, and Bayern Munich gaffer Thomas Tuchel. And the question we are asking is he the right man to get England their first major trophy since 1966? So as you can see, it promises to be quite an interesting show here. But don't forget, like I said, to subscribe to the channel, and then also just have your say in the comment section. We'll read it in the subsequent editions of the Soccer Punch. But first, let me welcome my gentlemen. Welcome, gentlemen. It looks like your facial expressions tells it all, especially with Force. Force, is everything okay?
No. This evening I'm very, very angry.
But Force, I've no. Is everything okay?
No. Because I have sharpened my.
Force, I only want you to relax. It's a well moderated show. I want you to relax. I know you're an emotional person. I want you to relax. So let's first begin with the Black Stars. When after 2004, when they failed to qualify for the AFCON in Tunisia, we saw the Black Stars qualify for it 2006. They hosted 2008. They were in the final in 2010. 2013, they did well to get to the semi-finals. 2015, another finals. 2017, the decline started. In the last 2 AFCON editions, they failed to go past the group stages. And now, it looks all but certain that the Black Stars might not be playing in the 2025 AFCON in Morocco. Khalid, what do you think is the problem? Do you think it's spiritual? Do you think, it's due to the ineptitude of the head coach, Otuado? You think it's just the wrong time? Or you think that the players are not committed enough? What is the root cause of this shambolic performance and the decline of the Black Stars?
I wouldn't blame the players. No, I won't do that.
You think the players are not at fault?
Coach, no, but the hierarchy, the top officials of the Ghana Football Association.
But one will say they don't play the football.
We lack fundamentals. They are the ones at the helm of affairs. They appoint coaches. They take the structures at hand. Why on earth will a Sudanese national or another national team coach be part of our ESCO board?
Mm-hmm. But how does that? How does that actually affect the performance? Yeah,
that's conflict of interest. And then one funny thing, even though CAF has made him step down, he's coming back at the end of November. This November.
But it's just a one-time thing. He even. But how did that even change the score? Like what? No, how did that happen? Because the Black Stars have failed to beat Angola. They failed to beat Niger. They failed to beat Sudan in both legs.
That's why I say we lack fundamentals. See, on the field of play, you could clearly see that these players are not typical Ghanaian players.
But you initially said that you don't want to you don't want to blame the players for recent decline.
Yes, so whose scores are these? The top officials. They keep on chasing after players that are not that don't feel Ghanaians. Before Neki William came to the Black Stars, he was saying he doesn't feel
like. Is that a problem?
Yes, it's a problem. One of the days when we used to have our local boys, not necessarily local boys, but fully Ghanaians who understand the culture, the play of Ghana, everything Ghana. They play from the under 17, they transit to the under 20, under 23, and then straight to Black Stars. But in recent years, what do we see? Oh, there's a certain half Ghanaian somewhere. He has visited Ghana before.
But you have a diaspora where
no. It doesn't work like that. You don't. At the end of the day, we go and call for Frakobo. No, it doesn't work like that. You need players who understand the Ghanaian culture, who understand the African
culture doesn't play football, does it?
It contributes a lot of things to football. Tariq Lamptey, this is his first time playing AFCON qualifiers. So how do you expect? He doesn't know the physicality of the game.
It's not.
He doesn't understand the culture of the game.
It's not basically about the quality of a team, other than where the player hails from. Because we've seen it with Morocco. Morocco have a chunk of players. Even when Nigeria finished second in the most recent AFCON, they had about 70% of the team.
Fundamentals are better than Ghana. Morocco, they have players like Belaili, world-class player who still plays in Africa. They have a lot of players who plays, so they understand the African terrain. You could see a player like Ali Seidu. He understands African football.
But he's not playing for the under 17. He's not playing for the under 20.
Yet he played. He started from Ghana. He played for JMG Soccer Academy in Ghana. He played several coast football teams in Ghana. So he understands the Ghanaian culture. He understands the African terrain, what it takes to play an AFCON qualifiers and stuff. So he knows what he's up to. But you don't go chasing after diaspora players whose grandfather once stayed in Ghana before. They
trace their roots back. So are you trying to tell us that it's about time they cut ties with these players because they are not helping?
Need to pass through the
you remember in 2010? You remember in 2010 when we had Kevin Prince-Boateng?
How many diaspora players were we having then?
It doesn't matter. But how many are starting for us now?
We can count about 5 or 6.
Just 5 out of 23, 24 players.
Yes, and they are
that's the difference.
And they are the core players of the team.
Which core players are you talking about? How many of
Jojo Olakot.
He wasn't imposed for the Black. He's not been imposed.
Recent years, he's been to the AFCON.
But when we are talking about the AFCON qualifiers, he's not been there.
He also contributes to that fact. His presence is there. I can mention about 5 as I said earlier. So it's about time. See, we really strategize our football. See, from the top to the down.
Is it the most, the biggest contributing factor to our decline in recent times that we end up bringing players that were not born and bred in Ghana?
Players who got rejected by their country of choice.
Semenyo never got rejected by any team.
Semenyo, he played for England.
He was with Bristol, and there was no way he knew he was going to bring into
Semenyo has an English passport. So if England had called him,
but it's based on certain diplomatic, element. It's not just. Let me bring you in. Atiya, you still look furious, and even looking at you is a problem. Atiya, you are a very spiritual person, so maybe I would want you to tackle it from a spiritual angle. You think through the spiritual realms, there's a curse being placed on Ghana, or you think it only has to do with quality and things beyond our comprehension?
You see, it is things beyond our comprehension. Spiritually, what I say is ineptitude.
In the spirit world?
Ineptitude. Stealing. Ineptitude.
But how do you steal in a football
game? I said ineptitude.
Yes, I need to understand. Stealing.
Corruption.
You come back to explain all these things.
I will explain, don't worry.
Corruption.
Do you understand?
Ineptitude, stealing, and corruption.
Corruption. Because see,
is that all?
That is not. I don't want to use certain words. No, Josiah.
Yeah.
See, this is not a laughing matter.
Okay. Yeah.
I get to the point.
Okay.
It is not a laughing matter, and I am saying this on authority. The GFA president, in the history of Ghana Football Association, right, from 1957.
You are being recorded.
Please. From 1957, this has been the most inept president in the history of Ghana football.
The president doesn't play football.
I am saying it on authority.
He doesn't play football.
The president, if your son is irresponsible, whom do you blame?
You blame my son.
You blame him.
My son.
That is why we are part of them.
Are you kidding?
Well, it's as simple as that because you blame me. No, you for them. See, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you know, a couple of weeks ago, when Randy Abe appeared at what's the name?
Public Accounts Committee.
Public Accounts Committee. He stated that management deserves praise, right? When the team does well.
Yeah, for putting good measures in place.
Thank you. He said that because they went to the World Cup. So, if mediocrity is the standard, what is happening shouldn't be surprising. Qualifying to the World Cup was seen as an achievement.
Which it is.
Which is not. If Sudan qualifies for the World Cup and sees that
It's a huge
it is not a huge achievement.
Because prior to 2006, we've never qualified for the World Cup.
See, when we won our last AFCON, 1982, the most any other team in Africa has won was one.
And you blame this guy.
I am saying that. I am saying that we have reduced the Black Stars, right, to tomato sellers. We have reduced the Black Stars.
I beg to differ.
We have reduced the Black Stars to money-making machine for corrupt people to be making money off the Black Stars. That is what is happening currently. I get to the point. Because see, I can tell you on authority. Because how can we as a nation play against Niger, play against Angola, play against Sudan, and get only 2 points? And you see, it really starts from today. It started from the last 2 AFCONs. What peppered over the cracks was the fact that we went to Nigeria, got a draw by means of what? The away goals, and went to the World Cup. So people did not really realize the extent to the catastrophic problem that we have as a nation. How can you go to an AFCON, be in a group involving Comoros, Cape Verde, and we will not qualify?
Is that the yardstick to measure the Black Stars? Because
I am saying
we are playing in 2 qualifiers now. We are playing the World Cup qualifiers for 2026. And then there's the 2025 AFCON.
The argument you are making doesn't hold water, right? The performances we are going to put up in the AFCON qualifiers. So are you trying to say that they are intentionally losing because this is the AFCON qualifiers?
You wouldn't say it's premeditated.
You are trying to
is that the only yardstick to measure them?
You are trying to predicate this argument on the fact that we are playing to qualify for 2 separate tournaments. The World Cup in 2026, right?
Yeah.
And then the African Cup of Nations in 2025.
Yeah.
So if you try to predicate this argument on that basis, then it is flawed.
So that's what
there's no need.
As the recent decline and poor results from the AFCON qualifiers enough justification that the Black Stars...
It is not only from the AFCON qualifiers.
But the World Cup...
We were lucky to have qualified for the World Cup.
But why are you not saying it was also due to lack being elusive?
It is not as a result of lack. You see, there's a difference between playing football, playing well, and not winning because of lack or because things are not going well. There is still a bunch of players who do not understand it, who do not appreciate the essence of donning the black and gold. Just say that.
So it boils down to commitment.
It's not only about commitment. It's about the structural defect that we have from the top to the bottom. I told you, exactly what I told you, that the appointment of Coach Otuado is not as a result of what's the name? Competence. But it's as a result of policy. Because Otuado has no iota of competence to be the head coach of the Black Stars.
You think so?
I am saying on authority. You see, let's devoid this argument of sentiments. Let's face the reality.
Are you not being emotional now?
I am not being emotional. These are the facts. What has been the achievement? What has been the pedestal? What has been the track record of the Ghana Black Stars under Ketokweku? What has been it?
So what's the major or the biggest contributing factor?
The biggest contributing factor is that we have a structural defect. And the structural defect starts from the Ghana Premier League. Do you understand? The structural defect starts from the Ghana Premier League. Because the first time we went to the World Cup in 2006, we had Hamidu Dramani. Did we not? We had, what's the name?
Rabiu.
We had Rabiu from Santiago Togo.
That was Giorgio.
Did you not? In that World Cup,
is it fair to juxtapose these 2 generations, which are almost like 2 decades apart?
See, if you do your things right, the Ghana Premier League should have been on an upward trend. And if the Ghana Premier League is at an upward trend, it's going to feed into the performance of the Black Stars. Because then we are going to have the pick of the players from the Ghana Premier League. Then we support them with the professionals that we have. Then have gone outside. We are not going to be hunting for players, like Karen said. We are hunting for players who do not understand, right? Who do not understand the essence of representing the Ghana Black Stars. And you see, let me be frank with you. The Brazilians are calling for their stars to be struck off the team so that the local players will be given the opportunity to represent the country. On what basis do they say that? Because they lack commitment. That is one on the part of the players. But on our part, see, on the day, I was at a Sports Stadium last week. This is what happened. That day, I said how it was lack. Because if you see the plethora of chances that we created, but we could not put the ball on the back of the net. I said, okay, no problem. We are lucky. Then I watched today's game against Sudan.
Neutral ground.
Courage. Let me get your last thoughts about this issue. What do you think should be done going forward, quickly?
See, total overhauling
Of what?
of the national teams. I'm not talking of only the Blasters.
But don't you have enough?
Total overhauling of Ghana football. Ketokeku must be sacked. Ghana government must sack Ketokeku.
But on what basis? He was voted.
I am saying that. See, we have done it before. Which clause are you triggering? Nigeria did it.
Based on
Nigeria, do you know Nigeria sacked
based on
NFA?
Yes.
Based on the whole presidency, everybody.
Yes.
Based on
When they were banned, after 2 years, they came back and
based on
they did
corruption
it.
allegations.
And that's the they want to happen.
Yes.
But based on corruption allegations, it's not the same as Ghana.
We are basing it on incompetence.
But not corruption.
I am saying that.
Yes.
I am saying
Yes.
that. Do you know incompetence is more than corruption?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
If you are corrupt and you are doing well,
Alright, so,
who cares about the corruption? But in this one you are corrupt and you are not doing well.
Alright, so I don't know what you have to say about the recent decline of Ghana football and also the Black Stars. It just doesn't look good if you are a Ghanaian. But there's another interesting topic here, which has to do with the Three Lions of England. 2 months ago, they were in the European Championship final against Spain, and they lost by 2-1. Fast forward, they had to part ways with their head coach, that's Gareth Southgate, and then there came Lee Carsley on an interim basis. And then, after a couple of games, the FA decides to also, relieve him of his temporary post and then bring in one of the most adept and also tacticians in the game, in the person of Thomas Tuchel. But the question is that, as an expatriate manager, we've seen a couple for them. Fabio Capello, some time back. Sven-Goran Eriksson was also there at the helm for the Three Lions. So it's nothing new bringing in a foreigner, to coach the Three Lions. But just putting this one into perspective, Thomas Tuchel, how good is he, and what does he bring on board to the Three Lions of England? Do you think it's about time the jinx was broken? And mind you that 2026 World Cup will be exactly 60 years since they won the Mondial on home soil.
Josiah, if you talk about the English national team, you are talking about the most difficult national team when it comes to international football.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
You might say no, because you have the Brazilian national team, you have the Spanish national team. But the national team with the most pressure, right? The national team with the most hecklers when it comes to their journalism, is the English national team. The pressure that comes with the job demands that you have a coach of the highest caliber, a coach who has proven, a coach who has a track record, a coach who, under pressure, is going to deliver. And I can tell you for a fact that in the current football dispensation, among the coaches who are free, and among the coaches who are even employed, Thomas Tuchel, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the best. Because this is a coach that came to England and then conquered Europe. If not because of the managerial, if not because of the incompetence of Todd Bowley and clearly Thomas Tuchel should still be the coach of Chelsea.
You think it was good enough for them?
If you ask me whether it's good enough, he was
That's not disrespect.
in his first season, when things when things were not going well, Lampard had been sacked. He came in, steadied the ship.
There was no pressure. There was no pressure.
Yeah. But to have taken a team as Chelsea at that time,
it was a huge feat. But there was no pressure on him.
I am saying, you don't necessarily need pressure to perform.
You need pressure to win titles.
You come into a setup that has been mangled. You come into a setup that was in a disarray. You come into a setup that has no structure, and then you are able to put that team, that setup, right, go to the Champions League finals against the most informed, the best team at the time in Manchester City, and you were able to withstand their firepower, winning the Champions League. That shows how good a coach he is, right? He went on. He's been at PSG. He's been at Bayern. We have seen the kind of football he plays. And I am saying on authority today that this is a good appointment, no matter what anybody says. Thomas Tuchel runs as one of the best coaches when it comes to football. I just don't know how he's going to transcend club football and then enter into international football. You realize that there's a vast disparity when it comes to international football and club football. Yeah. You are with your players 24/7 when it comes to club football, right? But in the whole calendar year, you are going to meet your players probably a couple of times before you play international matches. Is he going to be able to bring that what's the name, that nuance, that understanding that he has gotten throughout his managerial career as a club coach to the international football? If he is able to withstand those discrepancies and withstand those problems, then I think that is going to do it. Because you see, the funny thing is that the England team, as we see currently, is one of the most talented when it comes to generational talent. You've got players who are performing at the international stage. You've got players who are in their clubs are doing fantastic. And if he's able to blend them, if he's able to bring a tactics, able to bring that managerial set up, if he's able to bring his experience on board, and then have an understanding with this crop of players, I doubt if he's not going to do well.
Courage. Thomas Tuchel back, into management, and this time it's a club side, the Three Lions, and it's a pressure job. You think he has what it takes?
That's
because
a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think he's a perfect fit?
Perfect fit. There are no more options. There are no better coaches than Thomas Tuchel as we speak right now. Yes, I think the only person I was anticipating for was Pep Guardiola, but he came just recently to clear the lines that no, he's not made his mind of moving on from Manchester City to a club, national team football. I think Thomas Tuchel in recent years has placed himself at a higher position to be among one of the best. From PSG, from Dortmund instead, he went to PSG, did magic, went to the Champions League final. Unfortunately, he couldn't win it. He came to Chelsea, he won it within 6 months, and then the regular thing happened. The boards decided to part ways with him. He went to Bayern Munich. He did well. I wouldn't say he wasn't a failure at Bayern Munich, right? And then he's on a leave now. So Lee Castley already said that no, this job is not for it's for the top gaffers.
It's a bigger task.
So he knows his level. He has admitted, and then I think that also made the English FA push harder for a very renowned coach, and then they've made the right decision. I applaud them for that. What does he bring on board? He's a manager who understands the blend of young players with the experience. We've seen him do that in all his clubs. When he came to Chelsea, where he played in England, he was able to blend, build a third party between old or aged players like Thiago Silva and then Reece James and the likes. Was able to form a good blend. He was able to also understand the language. He speaks English. Yes, so language is not a barrier for such a coach. He's committed to his job. I remember in one of the finals, he had his leg in nursing tube or something like that. Yeah, so he's committed to his job. He's willing. He has the firepower, everything. With all things being equal, he will deliver for England without a doubt, because they've already been in the European Championship back-to-back finals. He'll build up on that and then probably win this thing. But now the focus is on securing qualification to the Mundial 2026. That's not a task for Tuchel, to be honest. He will deliver. So I'm very, very much happy and elated for his appointments, and kudos to the FA for being able to appoint such a gaffer.
All right, so that's the latest news in the world of football, where the Three Lions of England has appointed Thomas Tuchel as its latest gaffer. And I believe he will be tasked with qualifying the team to the 2026 World Cup in Mexico, USA, and also Canada, and then also perhaps break their 60-year-long drought without a major trophy. And he'll be taking over from November, hopefully, when the major leagues go on break and international football resumes once again. Thanks, gentlemen, for having you on the show. For Tiga, Mauli, and then also to Courage, and to you out there, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just subscribe, turn on the notification button, and then also you can have your say in the comment section. Whatever you have to say, Thomas Tuchel and the Black Stars, you think is the fault of the FA, you think that the players are not committed enough, or you think Otuadu just needs to say goodbye to the team. Bye.